Hey everyone, my name is Yuuzai. I was born September 25th, and this morning we're playing Ace Attorney. We're gonna try to stream in the morning, so I have more time at night. Wow, so cool. Innovation. This is absolutely not innovation. We're gonna get started. Today we are going on our second episode, which I believe we are going to We're going to Britain? I'm not sure though, because as we all know, this is my first playthrough. But I see Sherlock Holmes on on the little character silhouette, so you know. Alright, let's get started with episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. And let's move my microphone down. Hold on, let me mute it. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me.
Is this like canon?
The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band.
Like canon as in like
I
canon
believe
in
this is the terrible
Sherlock
call to which you referred.
Holmes stories.
In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared.
I've never
as
read
it threatened to
Sherlock
strike.
Holmes.
It truly was the most
I have
terrible
I have
speckled
one
band
book
I had ever seen.
on my shelf I bought during vacation, but it was actually a volume 2, so I need to go and read the Crimson. A Study in Scarlet. I need to read Study in Scarlet before I can read what I have. I think I have Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Because I was like, well, I mean, you don't need all of them.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed.
Locked moon.
No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way.
Locked room murder. Locked moon murder.
Locked room mystery.
Hell yeah, let's go.
In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
No! I mean, you could be Russian and no Japanese.
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident by the victim himself.
Wow!
Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
Which case is this? This is number 2.
This
Episode
is
2 of
murder,
Adventures.
and it cabin locked from inside.
Also, hello beans.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from?
I'm a
That guy
great
looks real
British
nerdy.
consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes.
I'm
I
sure there's
presume
other consulting
you must have heard
detectives,
of me.
dude. I'm sure there were other detectives back in the day. I don't know. I don't know the history of a detective. Oh, it's time for me to awkwardly read again. My head's throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Oh, whoa. Wait, I can't move. Oh, what happened last night? Why am I in handcuffs? I have no idea who that is, so I'm just gonna neutral voice. So you wake up now, huh? Okay, it's the Russian guy. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. No accent, too. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. We found you. Now you pay. Criminal! Not again. Not this shit again. First in Japan and now on the ship. Is this the ship to London? How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Okay. That... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Not again! For murder? Again? Like, I feel like I should have expected this, but also, like, 2 in a row. Oh, I have the paper seal. Cosmo will stick this over doors of the wardrobe for me. It says, keep out. In Japanese, though I'm not sure if the Russian crew can actually read it. Mr. Sato! Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? She ain't gonna speak to no criminal. Where is he? Where's Cosmo? No. Huh! You pretend you do not know? You are the wolf in the sheep's pelt. I'm really trying not to be, like, overly accented and stuff, but this script is trying to make me do it. But I don't know Russian accent. You are the killer! Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Excuse me? I thought we were gonna tear down Her Majesty's London together. What the fuck? I'm going through trauma right now. Here, in this very cabin, there was a bolt shuttered from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs, surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. I'm not doing that, bro. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought you your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes. I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone to discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians won't be very forgiving for a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotova, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in it for it. Stop worrying. Tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. I guess we're not tearing the streets of London, so I'm gonna have to change the title. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this happen? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together! I am actually in distress right now. This is traumatizing. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer! No, I'm not a murderer! Dawn, you said before. You said you admit everything to your crimes. No, that's not right! I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I could do is try to find out what really happened. He really has been killed, hasn't he? Is it just a bad dream? And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from the outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been someone inside the cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What exactly happened?
Are you still going to deny the charges, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me!
The cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died?
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we should learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then.
That's true, yes.
Then wouldn't he have locked the door to let Ryunosuke out and then was poisoned? Or something? I don't know. That's my first thought, anyway. I was about to say thirst pot. Why do I mix my words up, man? Can't anyone tell me what actually happened in here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably, that would be something you'd know the answer better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. He was really epic and really cool. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could not sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
Seeing the body really solidifies it, you know? But I mean, that's just a memory. That's not like me physically getting into the crime scene at the time, like how Phoenix Wright always ends up in there. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea any of that had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me!
Now I've told you everything I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, alright. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Okay, stowaway time.
Why are you even on board the ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No, that would have been impossible, obviously!
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you?
Yes, Susato.
Oh, but why?
I'm afraid... I don't really know the reason myself. You know what, Kazuma just wanted to elope with you. He wanted to run away and get married with you in England. Where everyone else there is also judgmental, but you know.
I don't understand.
Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you had to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then... Then what? Nothing. Forget it. Yo, apparently being in law is very important right now. I mean, I am playing the lawyer game, so...
Kazuma-sama is... He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Do you have a brother in jail? Or something? Susato-san.
I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night in his cabin?
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember.
Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I... fell asleep?
Well, yes. They don't sleep on the same bed.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed?
Well, yes. I think he was drugged. Sleep drugged.
I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth! If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything.
You have been drugged, my boy.
Really?
I don't know if the criminal did it or Kazuma did it right now, but I'm pretty sure you've been drugged.
Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it.
Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I'm making him sound so beta.
Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there's no one else who could possibly have done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why did this have to happen?
I can't take this.
Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life. And how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Ha!
What the? That was a Susato takedown.
Susato, what? What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry, prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
But how am I supposed to?
Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law.
Oh, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. Can I at least investigate the room? I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. You can see the remnants of the glue that we used to stick this over the wardrobe doors. Although it wasn't proper glue, of course, we didn't have any of that with us. So I pulverized some rice into a paste and used that instead. I mean, that is the original glue. But to a story like me, every single grain of rice represents precious rations. That's why I spread it as thinly as I possibly could. I couldn't bear to waste any. This is a paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. Do you expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it. So we used it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or whatever, but no one opened the doors.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always puts it in place whenever I went to sleep in there.
just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decides to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Yes. Oh wait, that's her, not... God. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled the sign off the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
Kibo! Hello, welcome to the murder mystery. We got a locked room murder on a ship on the way to England, so my title's actually not true. We're not having a jolly romp in England.
Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps could you help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence... Damn, they talk so slow. I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Working from home today? Hell yeah, let's go! Time to watch things. Although I do that when I'm physically there anyway. But, you know. Thank you, so you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that Yuuz used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. Yeah, you just proved that you technically couldn't do the murder, but circumstances still point against you, Ryu. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death! Alright, since we're investigating, it's time to pull out my eyeball. Now, you may be thinking I can't see with this sheet over my eyes, but watch this. I now have an eyeball! Hell yeah! Let's go! Okay, I already discussed with her. I want to go and do a quick save before we start. You can see how much I blink now. Okay, let's look at this fire drill. The fire thing. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Budia. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I'm a pet. I'm Kazuma's pet. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure, either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh. What's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself focused and forget to look around properly. Yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Yeah, I can look around the room, yeah. I'm sure you're careful looking around using the D-pad, aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Yes, let's do that! I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Okay, the bookshelf. The books have fallen over the shelf. Look, they've all toppled over the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Oh, he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mowed down at once. I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama's doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
Then perhaps... it was you, Naruhodo-san? In a fit of rage?
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue.
Could the way these things have been thrown around have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Oh.
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like seeing a mess.
I mean, that's disturbing the crime scene. Girlie, that's disturbing the crime scene. I'm not gonna talk to that guy until last, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna give me something. Let's look at the calligraphy. Seigi.
The Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet you... Can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why would I be able... shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on this ship?
We were gonna run away and get married, you know? It's for justice.
And now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win.
Is that a bone? Can I not? I can't investigate the tablecloth. Oh, never.
There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange.
Last night when I went to sleep,
I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. I'm saying I've been drugged.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No! I swear to God, I was drugged! Inebriated. Let's look at the trunk.
That's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Ah yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese.
Which in hindsight, I should have realized that foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed into the floor here.
Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. I swear to God, we were going to elope.
I swear dear Kazuma-sama would have sat when he was writing.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination.
It looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
Which means, what, he was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened?
Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue.
Hiya!
That's out of the question!
What?
Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts!
But what if there's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. We're gonna have to read his diary at some point, man.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either, but in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Investigate the chair? No? How about that horn thing? Nope. Among Us? Dude, I figured it out. The criminal jumped on this chair, jumped on top of the wardrobe, and Among Us out of here. That's it. Case closed. Solved. Done.
I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilation. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must have connected to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to, you're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray doesn't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that.
I suppose maybe that's it. Yo, Among Us.
Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
I read about it in a book when I was studying that talked about the life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical. It's just pulleys and gears. Shall we give it a little try?
Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously.
Someone was murdered in this room. Well?
I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
No, I'm sure that everyone's busy, that's all. Yeah, investigating a murder. Why can't I investigate the bed? Wait, I can. I'm just blind. Oh, never mind. No, I can't investigate the bed. Okay, wardrobe.
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh no, I suppose not. Although it might have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in, so yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
But because of that, you have no idea what's happening out here in the cabin.
No, sadly not. Can I get to spilled ink? No? Okay. Well, let's look at the Russian letters. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. And I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his fingers into the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. Don't doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine.
I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, wasn't he? I'm sorry, partner. But I can't read your writing.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Then what language is it? This is our protagonist.
It pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Oh? Why is he perched like that? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell. Also, he might be European.
Oh, how did he?
You've noticed a man too, haven't you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here. But he looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall! That's exactly how I see people who are taller than me.
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me! Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no, I've been living in a closet the entire time. No, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And he's investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Sapa-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expected you noticed already, but just in case. If you press A on people when they're in crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do.
I'm not gonna do that. I am going to let him hang over the desk and give himself a blood rush. Instead, I will keep on going and investigating. Actually, no, I think he'll give insight, so I guess I'm gonna go talk to the crewman first. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asked investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
I must have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Neat. Of course not. Now back to the corner of the room and make silence. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a moment there. He seemed a little flustered. Okay, now I'll talk to Sholmes because if I'm gonna kind of investigate this, I probably need his equipment or something. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation.
Maybe I should leave him alone.
Wait, but no, that's not her. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Oh, he's up. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Oh, whoa? Look at these British inventions. Industrial Revolution. Something, something, something magic. Wow! Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It's like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. This guy's looking for his Watson.
But how?
Wait, Susato's been to Afghanistan? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, your fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. So everything you said was incredibly wrong? This guy is more inaccurate than the horoscopes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Or the guy in the corner? Nope. He's talking to me and not the guy in the corner. Certainly I am. Do you see another in the cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill! I still say it's the vent. They came out of the vent.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
What?
And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked!
No, listen, there's no way I—
Hiya! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything!
This is ridiculous. Is that their like, but
How could you do it?
For pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary! Obviously!
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. But was I not right? While venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes. Maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you make of that, huh? Well, to be honest, I'm not Russian. I'm not an assassin. The ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of deduction. My method is founded upon the observations of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes.
So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Holmes?
The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do! There's nobody who hasn't heard of him!
What planet have I been living on, then?
We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have looked at the entire case already, I'm sure.
Yeah, they amonged us out of that vent. That's why it's a locked room murder. Really, why do I feel uneasy about this? Great Detective Cosmo asks, what were you just investigating? We'll go down the list. So, if you're so great, why don't I know you? So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Sherlock, was it? No, I have no air. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interesting articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from Miss England especially.
Yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you read so many of your own stories, you start to think you really are a detective? Yo, Miso, what's up? We just met Mr. Holmes. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backwards. How much did I miss? Well, let's quickly recap. We're on the boat to England from Japan. It's been 2 weeks now. I stowed away with Cosmo, my bestie, from the last episode. My bestie died. I was stuck in the closet. I was like locked in there. And now they think I did it because I was in the crime scene when there was a murder. However, there was a vent in the room. I'm pretty sure the killer among us out of there. They vented. And now, Sherlock Holmes, busted into the room and was investigating. And now we're conversing with him. Backwards. My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in a magazine. You have a biographer? Do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? They mayoined out of a murder. They absolutely did. The vents are such a good measure to get in and out in like anything these days. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deductions, you see, it is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form.
A science?
Really. The astute observer notices even the most subtle reaction in his subjects. A furtive glance, a twitch of muscle, a faint inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And a trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye.
Alright, thanks for dropping in, Misa. Have a good night's sleep. Please don't stay up like I did.
I am so tired. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth.
Bye-bye!
As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction. And fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. You got your name wrong. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. There's none other than a great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him.
When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself amongst their numbers, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? Two facts, you say? Was it the fact that there was a tussle? Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please! What two facts were apparent to you when you came to the cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first let us be precise. The two facts were in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian, and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. I can't read that. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In the final moments, many find their native tongue filling in our head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? Initially, I considered Gadara maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, maybe. Not in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least.
Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly.
Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer.
Why is it that I'm Russian too?
I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. You know what? I figured it out. I definitely didn't figure it out, but here's my theory, guys. Okay, so we had dinner together, and I think getting into the closet to go sleep for the night, both our meals were drugged. Because if I recall, on the diary, it kind of like trailed off. So I think we were drugged, and then the killer, who was observing from the vent, Among Us style, came down, killed Kazuma, and put the blame on me, and the killer is a member of the crew. Which is why it's written in Russian. Now,
Obviously, we're gonna get more evidence to debunk that, but that is my current ongoing theory. And that has been theory time with me, and I'm sorry that you had to see the very edge of my neck. Let me take out my eyeball. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the tradition dress of the Russian people.
Our school uniforms are the tradition dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim in the message that I might analyze for possible hidden details. It's a photographic print. God, it's a dying photo. Really solidifies the murder, huh? This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed.
Yes. Cosmo's already been taken away when I woke up.
This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, thank you. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered in the court records. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray?
You mentioned Russia. You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that?
Yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth.
Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think?
I have no idea what that says. Certainly, if it interests you.
How many times? I'm not Russian, so I don't speak Russian.
Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean? Oh, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in.
Actually, it was the other detail that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and the assassin of 16 part?
I bet the person in the room next door is the Russian assassin. Yes, the more sordid detail. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel was made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Cosmo Russian?
It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Cosmo-sama wrote on the door.
It was a simple act of reasoning to realize the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who had killed the very man who helped him escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Villain Bolshevik.
No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face!
Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more?
Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower?
Yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds that the man had perpetrated thus far, those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik is included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with the newspaper reporters, I wonder?
And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is that anyway? Nosuke?
If Afghanistan place.
Here, take this paper for you as a little memento for this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that in its interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. So you're giving me your garbage? And you may find the article on the back page interesting as well. On the back,
Cast your eyes over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. Couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance over at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Okay. Before we started talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo? Oh yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. Here's a teapot. I see that the victim was engaged in penning text. London Diary. Cosmo was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic! And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what Susato takedown is. Susato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair! Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author was cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters, of which I could read precisely none. So what was that about showing off about then? I said that sentence completely wrong.
If you would be so kind to show me, I would be happy to read it for you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm much obliged, my dear madame.
The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first read, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? What on earth does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never heard of that expression before.
The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring. I knew what the vents were in here. Were part of the story. The lattice on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin.
Cosmo's diary has been entered into the court record.
Dude, I haven't checked up on the sword on the floor. So I believe I've given you up enough to consider the time being at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary has piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold.
Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to.
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. And the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think, perhaps, that we could go with you? No. That would be somewhat complicated.
What? But why?
A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these... After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you the culprit at any point.
You must be joking!
You just said it! Only a moment ago! Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I have no cause to say such a thing. Well, he's definitely pinning it on the Russian revolutionary, but he keeps accusing me of being the Russian revolutionary.
Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then, and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And he pops off. And off he goes, having just laughed at my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for?
Huh?
You must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can—
Hey, yeah!
After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just gonna roll over and accept your fate?
As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigations to finish off here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Good idea.
The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. And bring the real culprit to justice. Can I really just change the reader? Yeah, I think this is as fast as it can go. Okay, back to the regular investigation. Let's save. Alright, let's look at that chicken leg. That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san! I ate it at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma-san spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Let's see if he had peanuts on him or anything. Excuse me? What? I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigate a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asked the prison guard to help him escape. Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. Niet! Stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to the Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay. Alright. There's no point in trying to appeal to this man's better nature. That's for sure. Okay. I was on his shoe.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he has to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. I miss him so much, guys. You don't understand. I mean, I feel like you would understand, actually. I miss Kazuma. He was such a cool guy.
What do you think of this? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever this is, it appears to have broken clean in two.
The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener for a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure if that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this with him. Would he? No, he would proudly display it, I feel like.
And the mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere in this cabin. It could be in the other cabin. Can I Among Us again? Nope, okay. Tapestry, wardrobe, chair, and desk. I assume I don't have to check them again if they had the check mark. Since, the soldier dude, the naval officer, whatever, doesn't have the check mark anymore when I asked him again.
When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across the secured door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. There's literally a vent above you. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across the outside of the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There'd be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Oh god, another sailor. Oh, look over there.
Crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he?
That's what I thought. Oh, my neck.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try. Wait, could that be the head of the police department in Japan? I'm like, that nerd looks familiar. Is that?
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling I've seen him somewhere before. Oh my god, it is him.
Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
I forgot what voice I gave him. Yes. What can I do for you? Oh, it's definitely him. He's even got the same model arm. I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is.
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
Oh, is he your gumshoe? Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped.
Nearly stopped. I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board of the ship. Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expect to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out in this hopeless situation. Wait, I'm not gonna examine. I'm done examining. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
Hey, he looks good in it. Don't worry about it. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what? My orders were to act as Asoki-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed us for an overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asoki-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated?
Obviously, we couldn't give Asoki-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night. Every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck.
So we're first class. That's something to be of note of. It's gotta be someone on the first class deck then. Most likely the person next to us.
Ugh. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I could do was humbly apologize. Inspector.
My neck.
So is there anything at all that I can do to help now? Just say the word.
We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer.
Of course not!
Excuse me, I'm just like burping everywhere.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry.
What?
Even deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If we move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well.
Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how. We have the diary.
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence?
It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
So evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it?
Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use.
What's this? It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
He wrote, "What looks to be some kind of speckled band is dangling from a ventilator grill."
A speckled band. That is strange.
Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is...
Don't tell me, the ventilator, is it?
You're very astute, Inspector. A ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin.
That's right, so if we can investigate there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment, but I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see.
I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going to go against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just let's move and we can leave the cabin at last.
I need to figure out my cameras.
Okay, we're gonna have a save for a second.
And we're out of here. To the hallway first, huh? Can we investigate the hallway? Is that a mousetrap on the floor? Is that a whole oblong? Yo, wait, hold up. And enhance it. What in the whole wide world is that? Is that a mousetrap with like a sphere of cheese? Or is that a bear? I don't know what it is. I mean, why did I even zoom in like this? It probably will be fixed. Not fixed. I'll figure it out later. Okay, well.
Whew! I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent here on study tour by the government. That's why he's being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in Steerage.
Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. There's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he's sitting down.
The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
I suppose. Like people in handcuffs?
Naruhodo-san, it looked like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please don't give me that pitying look. I'm going to examine. Hell yeah! Okay, let's save. Well, since we're looking at this direction, let's look at this. Are those pamphlets?
That's a huge book on top of the table, and there's a pen next to it.
Yes, that looks like the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it?
Does it tell me who goes through? A record is who goes through in and out.
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
Huh, you wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing, no reaction at all. I thought you might appreciate the compliment.
I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Was my neck snapped? I can't even tell anymore.
Huh. Well, let's have a talk with him. Are you kind of sunburnt there, dude?
Excuse me, but could I ask you something?
You little stowaway murderer!
That wasn't a good start. That wasn't a good start, was it?
All right, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something for you?
You little third-class lady's maid?
You're a sailor. I'm pretty sure the maid is even a third-class lady's maid would be higher ranked than you, and they were just saving money. She's pretty high up on there, and whatever. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me a name. I am the senior crewman, Beef Stroganoff. Oh, best thing is just avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about the first-class cabin area. Here we are in the finest part of Buria's steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important people. That is why I'm always guarding the place. Gosh, that's, amazing. But somehow I let a stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you into ocean. But Stroganoff is not an animal. Thank you? I keep adding particles in there. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. Susato-san, did you understand that? Is that a lie? Duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. It's not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there's somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Yeah, but if Herlock's not in the cabin, then he's gotta be inside there, so he got invited. Maybe they'll let us in. They'll be like, oh, dude in handcuffs? Hilarious, get in here. God, I hate my neck breaking every time I drink a water. Can you tell us who's traveling in a cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of a student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man will have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us where Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there was anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? All time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Is that Nyek? Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises, or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said, no! Sorry! I mean, he looked away, you know? That's kinda sus. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. So he saw something sus. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to Captain. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I don't understand. I don't understand what the fuck he just said.
I think he was trying to use some idiom, and it just kind of flew over my head, bro.
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Definitely. Pog! Same here. What if, like, I try to investigate the door and then we get arrested immediately?
That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong?
I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me.
I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reached the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead.
So true, bestie.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there.
No, I'm pretty sure he would. Everyone here kind of like everyone here is kind of like really aggressive towards us. I'm not sure it's the racism or the fact that the murder happened, but you know, they're not very friendly right now. No, I started it with my talk of running away, and there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. That light's on, but that light's off. I mean, reverse, but like, you know.
This looks like a plan of the SS Budia. It shows every deck. Look. The Budia is a large-scale steamship with triple-skinned hull, with a marvel of engineering.
Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ship? See.
Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san.
It is?
Well, considering the Japanese archipelago.
The islands of Japan?
Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on sea since the gods created them.
Well, I suppose so, but they're not really floating. They're pieces of land. They're actually attached to the bottom of the water. That didn't explain anything! Y'all! What if I just pulled? What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it?
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship, and brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Oh, this I have to see.
What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it!
But this is an emergency situation! Just look at these handcuffs!
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
I wish everything would just stop. The ship included.
If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
Alright. Let's see what that is. It is a mousetrap. It's fucking huge!
A trap for catching mice.
Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called, cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like.
You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap snaps shut on your fingers.
Really? But... I suppose you're right.
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Excuse me, holy crap. Why am I burping from water? Ugh.
Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later.
Alright. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask.
Gong gong. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help us with our inquiries.
How annoying. Screm. What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman.
Stand aside! Oh wait, stand aside. I'm about to break down the door.
Mr. Soames!
Shan't be stopped when it is on me. I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
Please, wait, Mr. Soames. The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress, Lilith. Who are you?
A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream.
Woman, don't be absurd. As you could see, there's no one but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsley Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt? No. I am a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you may trust me completely. This man used that magazine like it's a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. I distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might it be bold to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me! Hey, yo? Hey, yo?
Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo?
There must be a mouse in there. Yes! The case just shook! Leave, now! Otherwise, I'll call the steward. But this is Cosmo's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it, the strange Russian man's hiding something.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns.
Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No!
Oh?
I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now! This is going terribly.
We're not getting anywhere here.
I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. What are you... This man wants to be in the closet as well? It's not that pleasant, not gonna lie. I even know I've been in closets for a lot. When I was a kid, I actually hid in my own closet, pretending I went to school instead, and waited for people to leave my house before I could emerge from my own closet. I was a really bad kid, guys. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? My neck is breaking every freaking time. Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Well, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed, I was contemplating a sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to come for my great powers as a detective into service.
Oh!
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on, for once. Observe close. a Russian host in his cabin, Mr. Roylott is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Vodka? Why? The truth, of course. Yeah, I'm sorry, I ended up being a little racist here. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian would react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh, yes, please!
Well then, what are you about to see me will astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Okay. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on his account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone.
That's right. And Mr. Sholmes. I know that this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases to judgment.
Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end existence something more austere. Are you not? And number two, to the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not?
Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes!
That was a great deduction?
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What? What an affable twaddle!
Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
These two idiots. But, I mean, he is poking and prodding enough to get this guy more nervous. Like, I'd be nervous too. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well, then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So I do cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board into train of reasoning, which plainly let us work through my deductions together. Here we go, new game mode! Topic 1, Old Man's Identity. So this dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches in their eyes first. This is so epic, for no reason whatsoever. It's an enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away that copious beard you sport? Now, moving along. The question that begs is, why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on this matter. Regarding, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Violent Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possessed an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian Revolution himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. They don't look that similar, just a beard. There we go again. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have propensities to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where their furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that this case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse! What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation. A young lady, perhaps one slightly enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited for a life of crime, are we? You careless couture betrays. Once again, we need to only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found on the pages of this newspaper. Wait, fuck, I never read the back. I'm a dumbass, I fucking forgot. Oh, this is interesting.
Have you found something relevant now to hold this up?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
No, nor can I, but look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess. Do you think?
She's very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you?
I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere. This is Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovish Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. Well, there she is. I remember this from the fucking trailer. She, of course, is the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear that the woman was in costume. She was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing a diamond tiara you see pictured, which was worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles?
I have no idea. I'm quite sure. It must be an unbelievable sum of money.
Sasatha-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is a property of the Novovish Ballet. It seems the director is beside herself with work. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance of all ports with sailings to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
It does seem to be a Russian thing to do.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo.
But there is another more stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovish Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. It is snowing. Not hard, but like medium. Thus concludes Erlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elementsky. Man, Suzato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about. Was it? I'm just trying to grab something to hum. I was about to start talking Cantonese. I'm gonna put in my mouth.
Well, the stars are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow.
Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here for a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deduction. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's this newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other! Oh yes, I recall our discussion earlier. At the time, I believe I told you. But the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance.
In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Vorla does look a lot more like this man than you do.
That's not the point. And another thing, the part about abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. First glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just first glance, it is too small, clearly! You'd be lucky to get a 5-year-old child in that case, even if you pushed really hard.
I don't suppose the missing ballerina is the 5-year-old child, is she?
You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I?
Well, if she is 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out of the case.
Some years ago, I read that's something pertinent, I believe. A troupe of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain liftness in their body. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplistic itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case.
Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes.
This whole thing is turning into a circus.
Mr. Naruhodo, something occurred to me as Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his power of observations are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just, when he directs his attention, his logic seems a little off.
Your idea of little may be a little off itself, Mrs. Sato.
It's just one or two keywords in his deductions that seem to let him down. I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think?
Switch some keywords in his deductions.
Yes, but very tactfully. I feel like if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction.
Precisely the thought that was going through my mind. This man's a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Hey, yo?
Where are your handcuffs?
Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it!
Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel!
And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we're finished. I'm not worried, in fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning specular. Alright, let's, red pen this, deduction. Well, we remember this from the trailer that I watched so many times because I decided to save myself from playing this game. My glasses are like packed. I have no idea why there is like something on it, but there was something on it. Yeah, the shears are there, and then they make it too obvious here. Hopefully it's just because this is a different tutorial, and they make it a little more difficult later, but... BAM! The fuck? It's so dramatic. What the hell? It's like, done. Done.
I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beer?
I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though.
It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either.
Which means I suppose that the deduction is wrong.
Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruto-san, and see if it helps matter.
Alright, but how?
I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott.
I wonder if it's really his beauty he intends to use those shears on.
Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Shum's deduction better,
Then what?
then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san.
Well, I might have wanted to do something about this. Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could do to switch around that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? What the? What's this?
It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks.
No, the color's not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how's it growing out from underneath his thick black hair?
Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising.
Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
Hey, let's go! You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise details intending to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one's still very much in her youth. I mean, she could just be taking care of her hair. Who knows? If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. Damn, they admit really fast. The question in my existence is, why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. You have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary... No? Well, that was a shock. I had no idea the old man was really a young woman in disguise. Did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that?
Yes, it was a surprise, Naruto-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Sorry?
You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Sholmes.
I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business. No, strictly...
Yes, I understand. Say no more.
Well, anyway, let's focus on the next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now.
No, that's true. Given the fact that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman.
Exactly. He or rather she can't possibly be a merciless revolutionary.
I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now.
Yes.
Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we know and understand them.
For some reason, this woman tried to hide her true identity. Not as though I've ever read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article of the ballerina. The ballerina, I pronounce things really badly. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novice Ballet disappears from Shanghai. A would appear that we finally are able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova.
Ah!
Here it is. Dudes, how come her boobs just came out? That doesn't work like that.
You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone.
Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime over there. Alright, we already read this, huh? The crown's probably in there with, like, a pet. Yes, the trunk. Oh, it's not. Damn! This woman's the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside the traveling case as well.
No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all.
In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistakes again.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes?
Stop it. Anyway, there must be something here that shows what this woman is up to. Just having a crunk drink. Can we open the traveling case? It's a very small case, isn't it? You can see it instantly. No person could possibly fit inside.
So does that tell us that Miss Pavlova's telling glance at this direction was focused on something else?
If that's true, though, it doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Well, if there's nothing incriminating inside this case, why did she refuse to let us look inside?
Yes, I wonder why. Perhaps she has a perfectly harmless reason, though. The waste paper basket?
Let's have a little look inside.
Naruhodo-san! It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know?
Yuuzai, she's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly, we have no choice. That's a lot of paper. There's hardly anything in here at all.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
Oh, bitch. Bitch. It's on the table! Wow, look at this dazzling tiara.
I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on!
What, me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful.
Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently.
Yes!
She's gonna sell the tiara for some cash, and I understand that 100%. The proof of your crimes is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in the newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft.
Oh no.
Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking the precious tiara with you.
Ah!
We have you now.
I have no one. No family, no friends. I am all alone. And I need money!
Why does my head freeze all the time?
But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl? Of Prussia. It belongs to me!
This girl's only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely.
Alright, I will tell you everything. There's no point in hiding it now.
Come, let us not be hasty.
What?
There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Mystery? Well, what do you mean?
You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason for why you wish it to be remained closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there's no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me. We are not well suited to have a life of crime, are you? You careless boy betrays you. Once again, we only need to follow your furtive glad to find the answer, blah 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 blah. Yes, the reason why you refused to open your case was written on the books on the shelf. No, it's on the sign next to it. There's no pets allowed. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now.
I think Mr. Shums is adapting his logic to changing circumstances, don't you?
Maybe, but why is he suddenly bringing the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely.
Oh, do you think so?
Well, it doesn't seem like there's likely the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case. Would have been written in a book that doesn't belong to her.
Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself.
And there's gotta be another reason why she won't open her case. It must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn.
I agree, that's the only answer.
Whatever she has hidden in the case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. This.
Yes!
Yes! The reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from the carriage of this vessel. That is the real reason why you refused to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move on its own. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. Is the last item listed forbidden in the vessel of rule of passage. A pet. You don't have to scream, you'd be like, aw, man. But I guess this is Ace Attorney. You gotta be over dramatic about everything. It's cute that we get to go and dance around like this. It's so silly. And they're doing it for real too. Which is why the handcuffs are off. That's so silly. Like, I know you are suspected of murder. You have handcuffs on. But I need you to dance right now in someone's room. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were.
No, I am not Grimsby Roylott. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct.
Everyone has the same voice. I need to give her a different voice. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performance in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. This Bodia is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Did you really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat went reckless to the guise of an old general. And you intended to sever all your links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave it well alone. So if it was just you about to cut your own hair, who was that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? The bearable tinkering of a bell? Well, none under this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me.
I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself? So no one would recognize me. As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fast as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they?
Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are these two even talking about the same thing?
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It's my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please. Please don't tell anyone. If Captain finds out, if you say any sort of clue.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you, but in return, you must tell us as much detail as you can muster about the events of last night.
Yes, alright. I will tell you.
Okay, so she didn't do it. Probably. Maybe. It has to be a crew member. Probably the person who came in to, clean. And snuck through the vent.
Yeah. What? Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something Mr. Shone's great deduction?
It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. Okay, cuffed again.
Oh! Your hands are cuffed again!
What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When? And why?
There's still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. We have to find out what the speckled band that was Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was.
Okay. What actually happened last night? Did you know that someone was killed in a cabin next door to this room last night?
One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast.
The man who died, he was a friend of mine. And that's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? As people talking?
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps the steam engine exploded. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened.
Miss Pavlova, is there anything you'd tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done, and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novavik Ballet?
Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget? A challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
The tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novavik Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of the ship, they had all been too kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin.
So they were all in on it. That is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova. It creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, yes. Of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation to what conundrum. I'm not sure what. No, they say they won't let anyone else in here. But they clearly let someone in here. In first class. Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, Nies's Budia stopped by no port last night. That's it! Of course! So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard?
Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
I didn't even pick up on that. Look at these guys. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something.
An angel descended from heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry, what was that?
It is how the Russian newspapers describe one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel.
Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid.
Mr. Sholmes once said I can never resist the touch of dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same.
A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Shoei. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened.
Are we here when?
So the friend you mentioned inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board, according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell. Don't tell any of the crew. If they found out my precious...
Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison and throw you out in your case aboard, no doubt. So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes.
But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? Is it? Is it?
It's a hamster. It's a mouse. It's a whole ass snake. No, cat, it's cold up there. Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Huh, you credit Russia as the land of small rabbits to you?
Oh, don't they have small rabbits then?
You may well ask. I have no idea. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken!
Really?
Considering the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when adversity strikes, it can satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you eat your friends.
I'll remember that.
And I'm gonna screenshot that. Look. Like, y'all so fucking stupid. Well, it would appear that this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Okay, but I'm gonna examine now, you know? I mean, we already looked at this.
Don't touch.
Huh?
I will tell you what I know about last night. Oh, please. You must not touch my things. How do you say? Forbid it.
Oh, sorry. You should be, young man. What vulgar manners you have. Poking around in a young lady's private belongings. Neither shall I allow it. Hypocrite! Okay. You know anything about the revolutionary? Miss Pavlova, about this article. Did you know about this merciless revolutionary already?
No. But when I saw the picture, I couldn't believe it. He looks just like me in my disguise.
Huh? Am I the only one around here with eyes?
The other man, the one wearing the brown, he also said so. He said we look the same.
Yes, he says a lot of things. But I have a strong feeling that besides you and the great detective, you wouldn't find another soul on this ocean who thinks there's any similarities there at all.
Mr. Naruhodo, I won't allow you to speak ill of Mr. Sholmes.
No, I wouldn't dream of it. This is a diary of my friend who passed away.
His diary?
Yes, and he wrote it in last night before he died, something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23, I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, what looks some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilating grill.
A speckled band? I don't understand.
It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins his cabin, see? It's up there on the wall.
In other words, his cabin and the victim's cabins are connected together. Oh!
Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sounds, perhaps?
No, I don't know anything.
Oh. Are you sure you don't know anything? Uh-oh. Excuse me, Mr. Roylock. Yes, what? Wow, she's fast! Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain Quarters at once, please. Alright, I will come now. What? You must leave now. Oh, no, it's fine. Don't mind us.
Yes, please don't worry about yourself, Mr. Roylott.
Get out! The bastards are set out! Or do you want me to throw you out? Aw, it looks like we have to leave investigating this cabin until later. We really tried to slick one past.
What a pity.
And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. As to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Stopping point. I think this should be a good stopping point for me. Or do I want to keep going? It's one. Yeah, I'm gonna save my current problem. Okay. I'm gonna stop here because it's a good stopping point. I wanted to keep going a little bit more because I know these stories are long, but yeah, what can we do? Okay, thank you for joining. I know I wasn't as, a funny guy today. Maybe. I gotta warm up my brain when I do something in the morning, probably. I am doing stretches. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm literally just doing old man calisthenics right now. Okay. Cool. Alright, so tomorrow I will be up with Hero playing Chinese parents. Then the day after that we have our BL book club. Well, if you recognize any of the books that I posted on Twitter, feel free to drop in the Google form and let us know. Or if you want to drop in on the live stream itself, you can go join the Discord server, which is down here. And you can literally be called in. It'll be just like a silly little radio show, a little podcast vibe thing. I don't know what we're gonna be really doing. It's our first one. And we'll just see how it goes from there. Alright. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.